you are. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Sari Custer, and this is another Sari on Science for Arizona Science Center, and coming to you today live with our Early Learner Live. So glad that you are all still home, safe social distancing, helping to keep our community safe. So thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. As people join on here to our live, just want to remind everybody that we have these activities every single day, Monday through Saturday at 9:30 for our early learners. And then we've got Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30, some coaching sessions for our educators and our parents from our professional learning and development team. So stick around if you're interested in that. And then and that'll be live right here on Facebook. And then, of course, at 1 p.m. every single day, Monday through Saturday, we also have another demonstration. So I'm so glad that you all are at least hanging out with us, because you know that just because the Science Center's doors are closed right now temporarily doesn't mean the science has to stop. We have a ton of content for you, of course, live here on Facebook, and all of our videos, activities, demonstrations, and so much more online at azscience.org. So good morning to those of you who are joining us today. We're going to have a little grossology day. We're going to talk about some gross science with one of my absolute favorite books, Everyone Poops. So this is our early learner session, and this one's all about the giggles, just because, you know, who doesn't like to talk about poop? It's gross and it's great all at the same time. And today's reading, actually, I have to dedicate this one to my longest standing friend, my best friend growing up, Miss Candace Decay. So we used to read this and giggle about it all the time. So this session today actually goes out to her. And for those of you who haven't read this book, I highly encourage you to. And I'm so glad you're joining us today, because right after we read this, we're going to talk a little bit more about some poop, what you can learn from it, and then we're going to go into great activity where you can make your own edible poop. Yeah. It's going to be a ton of fun. So are you guys ready? All right. And hopefully those of you who have the book, feel free to follow along at home. So here we go. Everyone Poops by Tarō Gomi. All right. Let's see here. Whew. And I love these illustrations too. Oh, and I'll just add, just for fun, see the dedication. This is actually my daughter's copy, because my best friend, she gave her a copy. Gotta love that. So books are always a great gift, folks. All right, page 1. An elephant makes a big poop. A mouse makes a tiny poop. Get that in there so you guys can see that. A one-hump camel makes a one-hump poop. And a two-hump camel makes a two-hump poop. Haha, only kidding, guys. No, that's not true. Only kidding. Now, fish poop. Can you see the fish poop? Look at right there, and then down here. Fish poop. And so do birds, and bugs too. Different animals make different kinds of poop. Look at all these different kinds of poop. Different shapes, different colors, even different smells. Now this one's interesting. With a snake, look at that shape. Which end is the snake's behind? Where would the poop come from? Did you guess? Which end's the head? Which end's the tail? Ooh. Now, what does whale poop look like? That'll keep your curious mind guessing, huh? Some stop to poop, like this hippo, and others do it on the move. Some poop here and there, and others do it in a special place. Do you have a special place to poop? Now, grown-ups poop and children poop too. Well, some children poop on the potty, others poop in their diapers. Some animals poop and pay no attention, and others clean up after themselves. Have you ever watched a kitty clean up after themselves and cover it up? So these animals, these poop by the water. This one does it in the water. He wipes himself with paper, then flushes it down. Again, all in the water. all living things eat. So if you eat, what happens? Everyone poops. The end. More scat for you. I love that book. It's just so much fun. And yes, it's gross. And thinking about poop, everybody poops. If you eat, you poop. You got to have the waste come out somewhere. So for today's early learner lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about poop. Now, if you are all taking your safely social distance walks outside, hopefully you're getting a chance to maybe look around and make some observations while you're out on your walk. So maybe you've seen some poop out there. And now scientists who study poop are called scatologists. So scat is what we call animal poop. So poop. Kidding, this is fake, it's rubber. But if you're out there looking, there are some observations you can make looking at the shape, the texture, the color, and even just, what might be in it when we talk about texture. What does it look like? And this one looks pretty smooth, but again, it's rubber. There's nothing there. So what's in that poop can actually tell us a lot. And I mean, everybody has looked at their poop. And matter of fact, do you know that scientists, even for adults, there's a whole scale on what poop looks like. It's called the Bristol chart. And that's for helping to describe your poop to your doctor. It's all about texture and what's healthy. So when we're looking at animal poop, there are also some observations we can make. So something like this, and I have some samples for you today. So something like this. You want to guess what might be in that? What does it look like? And let's see if I can get it even closer. Don't worry, it's in resin, so I'm not actually touching the poop. But this one is pretty big. It's got some chunks in it, and it looks like there's a lot of hay in it. Now, I'm not going to make you guess, or you can try to guess what you think this might be from. Any guesses? It's from a pig. So pigs are omnivorous, which is a great word. So if you are a plant eater, you're an herbivore. If you're a meat eater, you're a carnivore. Now, if you eat a little bit of both, you're an omnivore. That means both. So pigs are omnivores, so there's likely some traces of different things in there, and I see a lot of plant material in this one. Let's look at another one. I've got a bunch of these. Let's look at this one. All right, so it's kind of long, sort of cylinder shaped. But do you guys see how there's this white coating on it? Let me see if I can get away from that and try to get it focused, get the camera focused for you there. Up here too, here and here, all that white. So this is actually bird poop. You want to guess what kind of bird? Is it a big bird or a small bird? It's a big bird. This is from a turkey. And turkeys are actually omnivorous too. They tend to eat plants and lots of bugs, whatever they can get their little beaks on. And the thing about birds is that when they poop, they only have one place where they poop and pee out of called a cloaca. So everything comes out of the same place. And this white that you're seeing, they don't actually produce urine the way we do. It comes out as a white paste. So that's why you see that white splotch when you're looking at bird poop. So next time you're on your walk, I want you to look at the bird poop and look at that big white splotch. And then there's usually a dark center. And that dark part is the poop. And the white part is really what would be the pee or the urine. All right, so something to look out for. Oh, also, you know what, talking about bird poop, I just had a colleague show me a really great website from an artist who does bird poop art. Bringing in the steam, talking about it, make it interesting. It's kind of like interpreting clouds and taking a look at the poop splatters and thinking of shapes. Now, I don't encourage you to touch any of them, but take some photos and just get creative with that and thinking about what the shapes might be like. I thought that was very interesting. Now, here's another one some of you might recognize. Any guesses? This one is rabbit poop. So these little tiny pellet shapes. Now rabbits eat plants, so I see in there lots of plant material, and they're just really small little pellets. They tend to drop a lot of them at the same time. And this one's a little bit bigger, so it kind of looks like the last one with the rabbit poop. But it's not rabbit. This one's a lot bigger. So this is another animal here in Arizona. This is elk poop. I know, right? Look how round they are, little cylinders almost. I thought those were kind of cool. I actually have a rubber one that's kind of close here. Kind of look like that. I know these are so gross, right? Spongy, but they're rubber, I promise. Very neat. Now, I don't see a lot of plant material in these, even though I know elk eat plant. But something to note about elk is that they actually chew their food twice. So it's so well processed, you don't see a lot of plant material here. Now, I'm going to skip over to another one that's very interesting because we looked at a lot of plant eaters. Now, I'm going to show you this one. And what do you see in this one? Look towards the top. So these are pretty big. And then what do you see up here? You see it? That's fur. So this one is from an animal that eats other animals. So this is from a carnivore. And then with poop, basically that's all the waste that you can't digest. So that color tends to be a lot of cells, fat, bacteria, but then also the other waste, so things that you can't digest. So this animal couldn't digest all this fur and it came out as waste. This is actually wolf poop. So it's got some fur in there. Let's see if I can show you one more interesting one, just because these are so crazy to look at. Okay, this one's also really big. Now, we learned about some of those really smooth ones that we were looking at. Anybody want to guess what this might be? If you're in Alaska, you might see these. This is moose poop. Really, really round. I do see some plant material in these as well. Just interesting to look at. So when you're out and about, if you see some poop laying there, or even if you've got dogs or cats, you may make some observations. But again, I want you to be very careful. Don't touch anything because there is a lot of bacteria there. But scatologists look at all of this information, including what's in the poop, where the poop is, and learning about what animals might be in that area, what their health might be like, and even what they're eating. So they can actually tell a lot from the poop, as we saw today. So to keep you thinking about poop in an interesting way, we're going to do a little activity that is all about making edible poop. We said it was going to be a gross day, right? So thinking about some yuck and fun science. All right, so I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. To make your edible poop, you're going to need a couple of things. Pack of chocolate cookies. You're going to need some, actually I'll bring this up here for a second. You're going to need some cream cheese. Oh, I need a bowl. I guess I could grab a bowl for us to mix this in today. Good thing I'm in the kitchen. All right, so a bowl, cream cheese. We've got some cookies. I'm going to be crushing these. And I've got a plate along with a little cocoa powder and some sugar. So those will come out here at the end. Now, first things first, in my opinion, we are going to make sure your hands are very clean, of course, since we're making food. I'm even gonna, just because I touched those other things, even though they're in acrylic, I'm gonna put some gloves on before I do this. My kitchen gloves. I actually do have kitchen gloves too, isn't it crazy? And also because later we're gonna dig our hands into this and make some rolls, and it just makes it easier sometimes if you've got some gloves. So cream cheese, 1 package of cream cheese, the 8-ounce package, whatever you got, throw it in the bowl. I let this sit out for a little while just to get it a little bit warmed up so it was easier to mix, because we're going to mix it up with those cookies. So whoop, into the bowl. All right, set that aside for a second, because the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take some of those Oreo cookies, and you can do as many as you like. I'm just going to take one big full stack, and I'm going to throw these into a Ziploc bag. If I can get it open with my gloves on. I'm going to toss them in here. Matter of fact, I might take 2 stacks. I saw the recipe officially calls for a whole package, but I think that's too many. All right. So I'm going to put these aside. And now what we need to do is break them. So one of my favorite ways to do that is to take the bag, wrap it in a tea towel so you can protect the plastic a little bit. And you also want to get some of the air out, or leave it so that the air can squish out. And I have a big heavy marble rolling pin, so I'm going to just squish them. And you want to break these up because, again, when you're making edible poop, you want it to look like poop. You want it to have some texture. So, oh yeah, there we go. Definitely got those nice and broken up. Look at all that. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to take our bowl with our cream cheese in it, and we are going to add all of our crushed cookies. You don't have to use Oreo cookies. If you want to use a different kind of cookie, go ahead, be my guest. I'm going to hold on to this in case I need it for later. There we go. Now I have my spoon here. We're going to mix this up really, really well. Get it so that they're all mixed in together. And this is a fun one that you can do with your kids, by yourself, if mom and dad, whoever wants to get their hands dirty on this one, and you don't even need a spoon. If you want to just mix this with your hands, you can, because why not? That's so fun. All right. And here we go. This is what it's looking like already. Just a big gloppy, goopy mess with some texture in it, which is perfect. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is take our cocoa powder. Mine is brand new, so of course I need to get a knife here and cut it open. So, oh, it has a little lift on it. Oh, inventions like that. Perfect. But I've got to be smarter than my seal on my cocoa powder. Excellent. All right, so you want to take your cocoa powder and just sprinkle a little on a plate, like so. And then you're going to add a little bit of sugar as well. So here we go. I've got sugar over here. If you want to try getting creative with this and add other flavorings into it, if you wanted like a chocolate cinnamon sort of flavor, you could. And now you can do this just to taste. I used about 1 teaspoon of sugar there. And we're mixing it around because now what we're going to do, we looked at all of those great poop shapes, right? All that scat. Now we're going to take a little hunk. We're going to roll it into a good poop shape, good scat log, if you will. And then we're going to roll it here into our cocoa powder and sugar mix. And voila, you've made your very own edible poop. Beautiful. Impress your friends. Have some fun with this while you're home. You can, of course, have a really cool virtual moment if you got everybody on a call and decided to do this together. It's just a great way to keep the conversation going about that science that we see around us all the time. And even though it's gross, you can learn a lot from it and have some fun and hopefully a few giggles. So by all means, send me any questions that you have about today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about scat, doing this recipe. Take pictures of yourselves making this recipe for me. I can't wait to see all of your great edible poop. And again, those of you who are so enjoying our science, please join us every day at 9:30 for our early learner activities. And then again at 1 o'clock for our broader demonstrations. And if you're interested in a little bit of coaching, of course, our professional learning and development team is helping to answer questions about lesson plans, additional activities, and other ways that you can help your learners at home at 10:30 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on Facebook. So thank you for joining today. I can't wait to see what you guys create. I can't wait to see you back at the Science Center eventually. And thanks again for staying home and safe social distancing. Of course, in the meantime, if you're looking for more information, find all our activities, demonstrations, and so much more at azscience.org. All right, we'll see you guys next time with more Sari on Science. Have a great one.